Hello, ladies. Hello, hello. It is Wise Women's Wednesday. Wise women. Wise women show up. I'm just making that proclamation right now. Wise women show up, and here they come. Yay! I just dried my hair, and boy, it's all puffed out, isn't it? Wise women show up. Yes, Joanne, you are here. Thank you for showing up. I left my water downstairs, so I'm sitting here. Didn't get a chance to mix up my hot milk, and I'm feeling suddenly extraordinarily thirsty because this is the time that I drink my hot milk every day. Am I a creature of habit or what? Come on in, ladies. I'm waiting for you. I see 5, 7. Here we go. Starting to come in. Bring it on in, y'all. Bring it on in. Let's see what we got here today. Who's here? Boy, it's slow. Is it me? What's my connection like, by the way? Somebody want to let me know, because we had to get rid of our Wi-Fi. It was just terrible. And we've got something new now, and I want to know if it's working. There's Joanne. Hi, Jennifer. Good to see everybody. Thanks for showing up. Come on in. Come on in. I see Gwen. Happy Wednesday. It's Wise Women's Wednesday. Come on in. Boy, slow and slow and slow. It's weird. Okay, well, you know what? We're gonna go with it anyway. So today, by the way, there's Mimi. Hi, Mimi. Hi, Gwen. Today, our quote of the week is from Audrey Hepburn, and there's Jolande and Sarah. Here it is. Nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. How much I love this. You know, I love things that just kind of push us and pull us a little bit. This is one of those things. This is one of those things. And I find that, when I start thinking about the possibilities instead of looking at all the things that I can't do, I see there's a lot bigger world out there, isn't there? Instead of limiting myself, I can find a whole lot of possibilities. It says I fade in and out, but you can hear me clearly. Sorry about that. Thank you. You're so sweet, Mimi. Thank you, Vanessa. Golly. Huh. It's my new hair. Well, I'm getting my hair cut on Thursday, and I'm really looking forward to it, and also getting rid of all this darkness and gray up there. Might go a little blonder, guys. I don't know. We shall see. So today is Wise Women's Wednesday. How do you love Wise Women's Wednesday? It's like one of my favorite things. I love Wise Women's Wednesday. I love to reflect on the very things that make us wise. And one of the things that makes us wise is when we get together with our community and we decide to see each other in the flesh. What do you think? That's why I'm asking you guys to save the date for April 18th. It's the Take Back Your Life workshop, which has been named. Are you ready for the name? It's called Full Bloom. Because roses, when they are in full bloom, are at their peak, at their most beautiful time. This is when art is created out of those full blossoms, those full blooms. And we're in full bloom. We are in full bloom, and I want to celebrate that with you. It's going to be here in Brevard, North Carolina. Closest airport is Asheville. There will be a VIP meet and greet. All the details will be out shortly on our website. And yes, it's called Full Bloom. And I am having so much fun with all of this and creating the content for it. And I know that the people who make the time and to come on out are really going to be blessed, because it is going to be an incredible time. We'll have swag bags for everybody, little notebooks and all the rest of it. I will be giving everybody collagen shots in the morning and coffee. You'll be able to purchase a little box lunch that I've already found a restaurant that will do exactly what I want. So we're looking at probably about 100 people. Yay! It's going to be exciting. So I'm looking forward to it. And if you're thinking about coming, my suggestion is that you start making your arrangements. Get your hotel. There's a bunch of people already. They're in the Sunset Motel, I think it is. It's this cute little retro hotel. We might have the whole thing sold out by now. I don't know, but check it out. It's here in Brevard, North Carolina. Asheville is the closest airport, like I said, but you can fly into Charlotte and drive easily. But save that date. It's April 18th, Saturday, April 18th. We're going to have a little meet and greet with wine, of course, appetizers, the whole bit. And I can't tell you how excited I am. So Wise Women is today. Our Wise Women's Wednesday is today. One thing I wanted to do too is also, I've got my little notes to self, don't forget. Free shipping is all this week. Free shipping is all. Jolande's already booked flight, car, the whole bit. Good for you. There's a bunch of people who are, so you're going to have lots of friends. It's going to be a blast. Free shipping ends February 1st. And we have to charge something because we did a little assessment on everything, and good grief, we need to start charging shipping. So my suggestion is that if you want to get something ordered from Saving Dinner, and especially if you're going to be doing the sprint, which is this Monday coming up, good heavens, get it right now. Get all of your supplements. No matter how many you order, they're going to be free to ship right now until February 1st. So take advantage of that. Okay, that's number one. Number two, Q&A is this Friday. This Friday. Can you believe this? It's Wednesday. It's hump day. So send your questions in, okay? Send your questions in. Yes, get your beauty support. We have several. Everything is in stock. Take advantage of the free shipping. Take advantage. This is what I do. I do this all the time. This is why I am in Amazon's Prime member. I have been for years because I love the free shipping. So take advantage of it. My goodness, that's a lot of money. You save a lot of money. Take advantage of it. Get your stuff ordered. And by the way, our Wise Women's Tea is in the shop as well, and you can get free shipping on that. The sprint starts Monday. If you want to be a part of this sprint, all you have to do is just show up. But hey, if you haven't gotten your newest sprint document and you want to get the emails every day, then go to savingdinner.com. You'll see the sprint link right there. Click on that and just do all the things. It'll also get you into the sprint group if you're not already in there. And we have so much fun there. So today, it's Wise Women's Wednesday. So what are we talking about? We're talking about wisdom. We're talking about wise women understanding what wisdom is, wise women walking in wisdom, wise women in full bloom. I was thinking about this as I was writing some of the content out this morning. I get up early so that I can have some time to myself. I meditate. I do a bunch of stuff, and I write in my journal. I do some reading and a little exercise and, some kitchen, get the dishwasher unloaded and stuff. But it's a wonderful time. I love having that time alone to just chill out and not have to have a conversation with anybody before I'm fully caffeinated. Anyone can relate to that. But anyway, so that time alone is always very, very precious. And I was writing things out, and I was thinking about, what is this? What do I want to present in this workshop? Because I have, I had lists and lists and lists of ideas, and this is not, my first workshop. I've done several of them. And I wanted something that's going to resonate with everyone, something that would just make everyone's heart just go, oh yeah, that's it. And the word, I was reading about something, and I can't remember where it was that I was reading, but I was reading about how things come into blossom and how things blossom. And I was thinking, blossom's beautiful. And I love how things blossom because it's just a little bud, and then suddenly, here comes the flower. But then I thought, we're women who are beyond blossoming. We're in full bloom. And full bloom is where flowers are really celebrated, aren't they? This is when art masterpieces are created. When that flower is in full bloom. There's nothing more glorious. Full bloom, every petal out, every flower, every bit of that fragrance coming out of that flower. And so that's the name going to be, yes, that we're going to use for our workshop. on the 18th. Full bloom, full bloom, because we are in full bloom, just completely opened up and, facing God, facing the sun, and getting everything that we can out of this juicy life that we have to live. I am so thrilled and so excited about this. But as I was thinking too about this workshop that we have coming up and all you that are coming in and what an exciting time this is going to be, I know that for some of you this is a big risk. You've maybe never done anything like this before and gotten on an airplane and just gone off on your own across the country maybe even, and gotten a hotel even with a stranger and decided I'm going to this event. And I want to talk to you about that. And not just about this event, but just about the whole risk factor. Because when we are willing to risk, we're also willing to bloom. I found in my life, and I get to say this, as a matriarch, at 61 years old, I get to say this, that risking has always given me more growth than I can ever handle. That risking and being willing to go forward, even when I don't have, all the details and all the parameters and all the everything's in place. Every time I've risked and done something that was just a little outside of my comfort zone, I've always gotten so much more back. And I want to say that to you because whatever it is in your life, whatever it is that's holding you back from whatever your goals are, without taking risk, you're never going to get there. Risk is something that we have to take in. Risk is something that we need to do. Risk is something that, we see with our teenage boys, right? My son, oh my gosh, what a risker. He did the things, and he still does. He goes down 100-foot waterfalls, for heaven's sakes. He does risky things. But for us, it's not 100-foot waterfalls. It might feel like it, but risk just means going forward with something that's outside of your comfort zone. Because on the other side of that risk is where all the beauty is. It's where the rose blooms. It's where the fragrance is. It's where you invite and ignite a community that you never knew you had. It's one thing to have a community here online, but it's another thing to have them in the flesh and around you. There's magic that happens. And I want to light you up with this magic. I want you to feel this magic and this little glistening and sparkle that's inside of you. Feel it and experience it and go outside of what your norms are, because this is where you find out who you are. Emily just said, I think it was Emily, just said that risk lets you know your strengths and your weaknesses. It does. It brings you to a different part of yourself. It brings you to a place of understanding, and it brings you to a place of knowing that you're way more than you give yourself credit for. That's what wise women do. Wise women are willing to go beyond themselves. Wise women are willing to expand the borders of their hearts, their minds, their souls, everything about them. This is where the place of empathy is. This is the place of love and the place of community and the place of being more than you've ever been. And I know this for a fact because every single time I've done this and every time I've risked it and done things like this, I come back with a richer, more beautiful story than I had before. I think I shared with you, I don't know if I shared with you guys, but in 2015, I was given an opportunity to go on a cruise, a river cruise in France, to the south of France. Absolutely once in a lifetime opportunity. So I went through Provence and Nice and all this whole area, and I went alone. I had all these miles on my credit card. I mean, I had over 1 million miles on my credit card. I hadn't used them. And so I called American Express and said, what can I do with this? And this guy goes, well, my gosh, you have so many miles. He goes, you could fly first class anywhere you wanted in the whole world. Well, I'd flown first class because I'd been a frequent flyer before, but just domestically. And but never when I'd gone to Europe. So you know what I did? I booked a first class flight to Paris um, first class there and first class back. And then I stayed on this amazing boat that was absolutely beautiful. It was the SS Catherine, through, of course, Uniworld Cruises. And if you want to look that up, I mean, it was incredible. Marble floors in the bathrooms that were heated. It was that beautiful. And going through the Rhone and through the rivers, and I did it by myself. I was the only woman on that boat alone. Everybody'd come with a group of friends or whatever. And I just want you to know, too, I had never in my life even gone to the movies by myself. You know, I was always one of these, I got to go with a group and got to be with them. But I took a risk. I took a chance. I did something that I wanted to do. France was on my list, and I decided I was going to go to France, even if I had to go by myself. Now, I'd always had these romantic visions that I would be going with, you know, the love of my life and sitting in a French cafe, you know, drinking espresso, ogling my lover. That didn't happen. So I went alone. And it was the most incredible journey. And I learned so much about myself. This is what wise women do. They take the time to learn about themselves. And you only get that opportunity when you risk it. When you put a few, you know, put a little skin in the game and say, you know, I'm willing to do this. I'm willing to try this. Now, of course, I was wise. I took precautions. I knew what I was doing, but I went alone. And it was one of the most incredible things I've ever done. I've done this a lot in business. You know, I've gone on a lot of business trips, and I remember the very first business trip I ever went on, and it was a big mastermind, and I was never done really anything like this in my life and hadn't flown alone very much, you know. And at that point, that's when I started getting, you know, all those miles on my credit card, and you know, and it all worked out, of course, and got used to traveling alone and got to be quite a savvy traveler. But going to Europe by myself, sure, why not? And I would do it again. And here's the thing that I know, that trip showed me what I was made of. That trip showed me that I was way more self-sufficient than I ever thought. That trip showed me that sitting alone and having dinner without staring into my phone endlessly wasn't embarrassing. It was amazing. And that my own company was good enough company for myself. Now, don't get me wrong. I got to know a lot of people. And as a matter of fact, next time I was in New York, you know, on a business trip, there was several people that I met on the cruise. So I had a really, really good time. But my point is that without having that risk in my life, I'd never be able to have the guts that I have today, the courage that I have today. And it took a little doing, you know, and I had to really kind of talk myself into it. But risk like this, for personal growth's sake, for the sake of being my own woman, for the sake of being a strong, courageous, brave woman, for the sake of knowing that I was self-sufficient and that I didn't need to hang on to a man at all moments for whatever reason, and put myself, you know, outside of adventure and travel and all the things that I've wanted to do, wasn't worth it to me. What was worth it to me was risking it and doing something just a little bit outside of my comfort zone. And that was the most incredible thing. One of the most incredible things I've ever done. And the thing is, change and growth only happen when you risk it. Oh, they only happen when you risk it. I've had women say to me, you know, and I've counseled them and coached them about this. Well, I'm kind of afraid of being hungry. Well, risk it. Take a risk. See how far you can go. See what you're made out of. If we don't push ourselves and see what we're made out of, we're never going to know the wise woman that dwells inside. Because that wise woman who dwells inside doesn't dwell in comfort and safety. She pushes us. She pushes us. And she says, dare to be a little different. Dare to say something. Dare to walk out. Dare to raise your hand and say something and speak up. Dare to be the woman who goes and gets her passport and goes to Europe by herself. Dare to be her. Dare to be the woman who comes to the full bloom workshop in April by yourself. There is a wise woman inside of you who's just aching for you to let go a little bit of those reins and to say, come on out, come get a little uncomfortable. You know, when we can just understand that the discomfort's going to come, but we embrace it anyway, that's when we learn, that's when we experience, and that's when we grow. And that's what I want for you, more than anything, because our whole life is an adventure. Whether we know it or not, we can keep it itty bitty teeny weeny, or we can let it grow, make it bigger. When we do that, our hearts grow and get bigger. Our minds expand and get bigger. Empathy grows inside. The wholeness of who we are grows inside. We're not limited. We're limitless. That's the God who made us. He's that way, and he made us in his image. Think about that. That's you. That's you if you want to be that person. So risk it, would you? Start thinking about risk a little bit. And start looking for ways you can toe the line and break out a little bit. I'd love to have you here in Brevard. And I can't wait to show you my big, beautiful view for the VIP meet and greet. We're going to do it right here so you can see my entire view of the Blue Ridge Mountains. Unbelievable. With wine and cheese and all kinds of things. And then we're going to be having, our whole workshop on that Saturday. All this information will be available for you. If you're not on our email list, please get there. SavingDinner.com. You'll get a free menu as well. And also, if you haven't joined the sprint, it's time. We start on Monday. If you haven't done the sprint, I suggest you do the sprint. The sprint will show you what you're made of. It's a little bit of a risk, I bet, for some of you, but it's a risk well worth taking. Okay? Bless you. Love you guys. You have a fantastic day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Peace.